Social media is supposed to connect us, right? But sometimes the scariest stories don't happen in haunted houses. They happen right on our phone screens. And Instagram, with all its selfies, filters, and perfect feeds, isn't immune from these unsettling encounters. People expect likes, comments, maybe a DM or two, but not something dark creeping in from behind the screen. That's why tonight, I'm sharing 3 true Instagram horror stories that might just make you double-check your followers list. These aren't ghost stories told around a campfire. They're real accounts from real people who thought they were just scrolling normally. And that's exactly what makes them disturbing. Because if it happened to them, it could happen to anyone. Some stories are about stalkers, some about strange glitches, and others about things no one could ever explain. By the time you finish hearing them, you might never look at your notifications the same way again. So grab your phone, but keep the lights on, because these 3 tales aren't your average Instagram posts. Let's dive into the first story, the kind of nightmare that started with a simple photo post. It started when a girl posted a harmless photo of her backyard. Nothing special, just the view from her porch during sunset. Within minutes, she got likes and comments from friends. But then, one username she didn't recognize popped up. The account had no profile picture, no posts, no bio, just a single follower count. Her. At first, she ignored it. Everyone gets random follow requests, right? But this one felt different. The account began liking only her newest photos and then older ones, scrolling back months. It wasn't long before she noticed something chilling. The comments started getting specific. One read, "Nice blue shirt today." Except she hadn't posted a picture of herself in that shirt. She wore it to school earlier that morning. Another comment, "Cute dog by the fence." But that dog belonged to her neighbor, and she hadn't posted it anywhere. Whoever was behind the account wasn't just scrolling Instagram. They were watching her in real life. She blocked the profile instantly, heart racing. Relief washed over her for a moment. But then, a new account appeared. Different name, same blank profile, same exact comments. No matter how many times she blocked, new accounts followed. Always empty, always watching. She told her parents, who brushed it off as an online prank. But she knew it wasn't just that. Because one night she posted a quick story of her cat sitting on the couch. Minutes later, a DM arrived. "Cute, I can see you too." Her blood ran cold. The angle of the message implied the sender wasn't talking about the cat. She shut off her phone, locked every door, and tried to calm down. But the next morning, she found a new comment on her latest photo. "Sleep well?" At that point, her parents finally took her seriously and called the police. Authorities traced the accounts, but the trail led only to throwaway emails and VPNs. There was no way to know who was behind them. For weeks, she avoided posting anything, terrified of giving away even the smallest detail. Eventually, the account stopped. The messages ended. Life went back to normal, at least on the surface. But to this day, she swears she sometimes feels eyes on her when she steps into her backyard. She doesn't post photos of her home anymore. Not the porch, not the fence, not even the view. Because somewhere out there, someone knew too much about her life, and might still be watching. It was a terrifying reminder that on Instagram, not every like is innocent. Some followers aren't just online, they're closer than you think. And that was only the first story. The second one takes us somewhere even stranger, an Instagram account that seemed to know things before they happened. A college student once shared that she kept getting followed by the same strange account, one with a random string of numbers for a name. It had only a handful of posts, blurry photos of streets, empty rooms, and clocks. Nothing that made sense. She ignored it until one night when the account posted something that caught her attention. It was a photo of her dorm hallway, taken just hours before she walked down it. Chills ran down her spine. She hadn't seen anyone when she was there. The next day, the account uploaded another photo, a blurry shot of her and her friends at the campus cafe. None of them had noticed someone taking a picture. It was as if the image came from nowhere. Her friends laughed it off, but she couldn't shake the unease. Then things got even stranger. The account started posting photos before she even arrived at the places shown. One post showed her study desk, the books arranged exactly as she would set them up that night. Another showed her wearing a jacket she hadn't worn in months, something she only decided to pull out hours later. It felt impossible, like the account was seeing the future or reading her thoughts. She reported the account, but Instagram simply removed the posts and closed it without explanation. Relieved, she thought it was over, until a new account appeared days later. This one had the same kind of eerie photos. Her campus, her classes, even her roommate's bed. Late one evening, she received a DM that said, "Don't bother studying. You'll fail tomorrow's quiz." The next morning, her professor surprised the class with a pop quiz. She failed it. She tried not to panic, but every post after that seemed to predict something else in her life. Her phone screen cracked, and hours before, the account had posted a photo of a shattered phone. Her bike tire went flat, and the account already had a photo of one lying deflated on the pavement. No matter what she did, the account always seemed one step ahead. She eventually deleted her Instagram, hoping to escape it altogether. But her friends told her the account kept posting, tagging her in pictures even though her profile no longer existed. The final post before the account vanished for good was the most unsettling. It showed a photo of her standing outside her dorm, except she swore she hadn't been outside that night. To this day, she has no idea who was behind it or how they knew so much about her. Was it a stalker with access to her life, or something much darker? Either way, she never made another Instagram account. And who could blame her? Some mysteries are better left unsolved. But if you think that's disturbing, the third story might be the creepiest yet, because it blurs the line between digital and supernatural. A guy once said he started noticing something weird in his Instagram Explore feed. Among all the usual memes and travel pics, there was one account that kept showing up. The account had a single profile picture, a blurry face, almost like someone pressed their nose against glass. Curious, he clicked on it. The page had only 3 posts, each stranger than the last. The first was a dark, empty room with a cracked mirror. No caption, no tags. The second was a close-up of a handprint smeared on a window. Again, no context, but the third post made his blood run cold. It was a photo of his bedroom, taken at night. He froze, staring at the screen. He lived alone. No one should have had access to that room. He locked his door, checked his windows. Everything was secure. But the photo was real. He DM'd the account demanding to know who they were. Minutes later, a reply came. "You already know me." He blocked the account instantly, but his Explore feed kept suggesting it back to him. Then, one night, lying in bed, he refreshed his feed out of habit. A new post from that same account appeared. It was another photo of his room, this time with him in the frame, asleep. He sat up in shock, heart racing, and deleted Instagram on the spot. But the next day, his friend texted him a screenshot. "Hey man, why did you post this creepy picture of yourself sleeping?" Somehow, the photo had appeared on his account too, even though he had deleted the app. He swore he never posted it. He didn't even have access anymore. The photo disappeared hours later, like it had never been there. To this day, he avoids Instagram completely, convinced the account wasn't a hacker at all, but something else. Some believe it was a digital ghost, something that found a way to use social media as a doorway. And honestly, that thought might be scarier than any real stalker, because how do you block something that isn't human? And that wraps up these 3 true Instagram horror stories. Scary, right? It's wild how something as ordinary as an app can suddenly feel unsafe. Each of these stories reminds us that the line between online and real life is an always as separate as we think. Sometimes the people behind the screen are closer than we realize. Other times it's not even clear if what's happening is human at all. That is what makes these tales so disturbing. They blur the comfort of the digital world with the fear of the unknown. Now I have to ask, which one creeped you out the most? The stalker the predictive account, or the ghost in the feed? Let me know in the comments because I'm curious which story hit hardest for you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss more creepy true stories every week. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight and listening to these unsettling tales. Until next time, stay safe online, and maybe think twice before posting that next photo. You never know who might be watching.